Guys, this is Mr. Kaiser here, Duck Dynasty style in this particular photo. I have provided you all of the necessary files to complete this project, so be sure to get on your haiku and download those before you continue on watching this video. Welcome back, guys. This is Mr. Kaiser here. I'm going to show you how to take out the chroma key or green screen in the background of your pictures. What I want you to do first is first pull up, going to File, Open, and locating your picture and opening it up, which I've already done here, and then going to your Magic Eraser tool. If you don't have the Magic Eraser tool, because it's just the eraser tool, you click and hold, and then scroll down to the Magic Eraser tool. Now all you have to do with this is click on the green, make sure your tolerance is set at 32, you have anti-alias on and contiguous on. Click and voila, vast majority of the green screen's already gone. Click over here, and anywhere else I don't want, I'll have to zoom in to get some of these in his hair. It's a lovely picture of Brandon here who we lost his hair there. Alright, so we can just hit Control Z to undo if there's any mistakes. Let's get some of these other greens out. It's too close in color, so what I have to do is I have to lower my threshold here. And it's still not working, so we'll go a little bit lower. And I'll zoom in some more as well, just to make sure I get it this time. There we go. Now, let's see, some more green in here. See, his is a little complicated because of the way he did his hair here. Alright. Let's get that funky piece there out. Good enough for now. Alright, so there we have it. Pretty much all of the green screen is now gone. What we want to do is we want to place something else in the background. Now, for your web page, we're probably going to have this sit on top of your web page, but for those who do not know Photoshop that well, I'm just going to do a quick tutorial here on how to copy and paste images in. It's much like any other program. You just copy and paste from the internet. The key to finding a good image is to make sure that you go, when you're searching for something, say in Google, so you look for cat. You go to search tools. Images, search tools, size, and then say larger than either 8x6 or 1024 by 768 will do. And then you choose whatever image you want. Say I wanted this image, and I say view image. Make sure you click on view image, otherwise you're getting a downgraded version. And then you copy that image by right clicking and copying, and so on and so forth. See, what I have here is a few pictures. First one is this background of a room full of cats. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go over here to the program. And I'm going to Control V, which will paste it in over top. In order to get it behind Brandon here, I'll have to pull this layer down behind it. See, now I have my image back there. Now see, this is not the right size, as we see. And, I'm not really worried too much about Brandon's size here, because this is actually a very large image, 36 by 54. It's a very huge picture here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit wider just for the sake of having some space to work with. I'm going to take Brandon and we'll slide him down a little bit. I'll just leave him up here. I'm going to take this picture, Control T will give you free transform, or you can go to edit and free transform. And what you want to do is you want to grab one of these corners, you want to hold shift, be sure to hold shift, this way it keeps it uniform, and then drag your image. Alright, that one looks pretty good right there. Take Brandon, I'm going to make him actually a little bit smaller, but first thing I want to do is I want to make this a smart object, because I'm not going to modify it anymore. And what that will do is it makes it so it does not lose quality when I make it larger and smaller. We'll make this a little bit smaller. And I'll just kind of sit Brandon on the edge here. Move my photo up. Oh, now we're looking like so. Our frame will be within this section here. And I want to still make it a little bit wider so you can see all the other things I got going on here. Yeah, that's better. Brandon back up. Now this is a marquee tool or a selection tool. I'm going to select the rectangular tool and I'm going to come down here where it crosses Brandon's legs. I'm going to make sure I'm on layer 1, which I'm actually going to name Cat Room. Okay. And then I'm going to select the inverse, which will basically mean selecting everything that I did not select, and then hit delete. And what that does is I'll get rid of that extra line down there. This way I can place Brandon. Looks more like he's sitting there on the edge when we finish our frame. And you can make this better, you know, simply by playing around with it. I'm not going to put too much time into it. It's not that important. But I'm just in general showing you how to do these things. And so now we have Brandon in a brand new place, hanging out in this wonderful room of cats, because we know how much he loves cats. Alright, so what else do we want to do? Oh, we want to incorporate some more images in here. So we're done with this one. Let's go to, yeah, every guy like Brandon has just got to have a cat to sit on him. So we're going to paste this little kitty in here. And again, all we have to do is use the magic eraser to get rid of the white. And my tolerance was down to 10, see, so make sure if you move your tolerance, you put it back up to 32. Yeah, still missed a few of it. So zoom in here and get rid of the rest of this. And again, you guys can make different types of selections. You take your time on it as much as you want. Like this. Now all I do is just select the eraser tool and erase that section off. I'm going to erase a little bit of this off as well. I have a feathered brush on right now, so I want to go back to the solid brush. Clean that up a little bit. Alright, nice enough. Now see, I still have some of this white on this image, and if I cut these other images off, you see that these little eyeballs here will hide your layers so that you can see the specific layer that you're working on. What I want to do here is I want to select a color range. Okay, but I can't see the color range unless this one's on. See this extra white in here? Select color range, and then come over here and actually click on where it's white. And you'll notice it selects all this stuff. Don't worry about that. Alright, select all that and just hit delete. And it will get rid of all that extra excess white on our kitty cat here. Alright. So it's fit on screen. If you choose the zoom tool and you right click, you can fit on screen. You can actual pixels. You can print size. But I usually just do print on screen to get it done real quick. Now I'm going to move my cat by using the move tool. Alright. And I'm going to put this cat in front of Brandon so I can place it on him. Alright. Pretty cool so far. That's a pretty big cat though. Maybe we should make this cat a little smaller. Control T again to resize. We'll make this cat a little smaller. Move him here and hit enter to complete the transition. Go back to Brandon. We're going to go ahead and raster this image now, which makes it a pixelated image, which I'll explain more later. Now I can select using the quick selection tool. If you get right here, fourth down, quick selection tool, hold if you don't have that, if you have the magic wand. And then I'm going to select Brandon's hand, which I'm going to hide the cat so I can see that. Select Brandon's hand here. Then I'm going to go back to the cat layer, turn it back on, and hit delete. What that's going to do is that's basically going to make it look like Brandon's hand is on top of the cat. And actually, I don't really like that selection because I want to keep the cat's paw here. So while I'm selected on the cat layer, I'm going to make sure I'm still in the selection tool. And I'm going to hit the Alt key, and that will reverse the selection. And now I take just the paw out. So, I got a little bit of extra right here, so I'm going to go ahead and get that back. These little marching ants show you what is selected. Right, now I hit delete, and there you go. It looks like Brandon's got a cat sitting on him with his paw in his hand. Isn't that cute? Let's fit that on the screen. That's a nice picture there. Alright, what else can we do? Well, I think I have one more thing to do here. We have a wonderful cat mask. Let's see if we can copy that image. And notice as I copy and paste these images, it creates new layers, which is what you want. Control V. Again, magic eraser tool. Get rid of that. Get rid of, oh, missed my mark there. It's the square part of the eraser that you're looking at, not the little explosion parts. So it's the end of the square part that you want to click with. Alright, so we can place this over here, and that's obviously too large. Brandon looks like a fool right there, so let's see if we can't make this smaller. And bring it down a little. Just, tilt it a little. See, when you get this two arrows, that means that you can rotate it. So we're going to swing it this way a little. That's still too large. Remember to hold shift so it's uniform. If you don't hold shift, it's going to go in all kinds of different directions, and you don't want that. Control Z1 to do what I just did. Alright, now we're getting closer. Let me hit enter so I can take a look at it, see what we got going on here. Alright, so it's mostly fitting his face, but you know, I'm not really liking how it's going over his nose here. So I'm going to try to see if I can rotate it just a little. Move it around just a little. There we go, that's a little better. Let me just grab this edge. And hit enter. And voila! There we have it, a picture of Brandon in his cat mask with his wonderful kitty cats. So, now if I want all of this to be together in one picture, and I wanted to put it, say, on a slideshow or something like that on a web page, I would simply go to hit Control A, which selects absolutely everything, or you can go to Select All, okay, and then go to Edit, Copy Merged, and Control N, or you can go to File, New, and this will be the copied section. You want to change your resolution to about 200. Well, I guess since we're going to be posting this on the web, let's just go ahead and keep it at 72. 72 is the general resolution for the web, and that's what we'll keep it at. Click OK. And now if you hit Control V, which paste, or Edit Paste, what you get is the image over here. If you look at the layer, it's the image combined with the background. You can go ahead and delete the background. And then you have this wonderful image. Well, I want you... Sorry guys for all the sniffles, I kind of have a cold here, but I want to get this done. So let's go ahead and go back now and try something else. Be sure that you save this under your web design folder under GreenScreen. I'll have this in the haiku as well under GreenScreen section folder that you create. Alright, I'm going to go back to the original photo, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these silly layers we created here. In fact, if you hold Control and you select the layers, you can select them individually. And I'm going to drag those to the trash can and go ahead and get rid of those. If you double click on the layer, you can rename it. I'm going to name this Brandon. Alright, hit enter. Now I can move Brandon around here again. If you make a selection, say I take a marquee selection, I make a selection, and I only want to select around him, and I want to select this big square. If I hit the move tool and I shake it, it will give me the marching ants or the selection just around Brandon. Control D will deselect. Alright. So for website purposes, what you're going to do probably is have a picture of yourself and then some sort of background in here. In order to place a background, I've already created a background, so I'm just going to go to File. You can look one up on Google again. Just look up whatever it may be that you wish to put in your background. Again, this is practice, so don't spend too much time on it. I'm going to go to File. After I've saved something, I can go to File, Place, and then I can find where I have saved that. So in this case, I have saved it under Web Design. Once you have found your image, all you do is double click on it, and it'll place that image into the screen. Now Brandon, this is a very large image over here of Brandon, but we're going to make this a large background, and then we'll adjust it as we progress. There's pretty good algorithms on Photoshop, so it's going to do a pretty good job at rendering this anyway. See, brought its quality back. I had to put Brandon on top, get him to show up, and once again drag him down. So you see, so I could have buttons here, and I could have all about me, and maybe a little bit of info about him here. See, Brandon kind of blends in the background. This actually doesn't look that bad, so it blends pretty well with this picture. But just for the sake of teaching you how, if you double click on Brandon's image, what will come up are called blending options. And most of you who take my graphic image, you should already know this. Click on stroke. What that's going to do is going to put a stroke around you, and since everything in the back is pretty dark, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make it a white stroke. And I can increase the size. And you should be able to see back there the size growing. And if I had a poor selection, I'm going to get these little extra lines that are going to create strokes as well. I can get rid of those later. It's not that big a deal right now. So I'll go ahead and click OK. I'll just go ahead and do it. Get my eraser tool and just delete out those extra little dots that I don't want in case you wind up with this. Alright, don't forget to save frequently. Control S will save. I'm not going to save because I don't want a bunch of this stuff on my computer, but you know, just in case your computer crashes, you want to make sure that you're frequently saving, especially on these projects. I know I don't save during the projects, but be sure that you're saving yourself. Alright, so there we have it. We have Brandon with the stroke around him. We could also do other things, just give you some examples. I could take and create a outer glow or inner glow. And let's change this color to maybe a red so it's a little more visible so you can see it. We'll take it from a screen to a normal. Passive. Alright, so let's increase the size. So you see it creates a little glow. That's excessive. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But you can do a small one, maybe, and create a little pizzazz with different colors and fiddle around with it. Create a drop shadow. And in this case, we want the angle reversed because we don't have anything down at the bottom. Opacity. Definitely need to change the color. Yeah, let's just make that red. That'll work. Distance. Spread. Size. It's kind of hard to see, but there's, you know, as I increase this, there's definitely a shadow there. So, if we hide the background, let's just say okay. If we have the background, we'll be able to see that shadow a little better. Like double click on it and mess around with it again. Let's see, distance. Let's increase our distance here. Yeah, sure, that'll work. Not that big a deal, but there you go. It has a bit of a screen on it because it's a drop shadow, so it's only going to show a little bit of it. And anytime you want to cut any of your effects off, all you have to do is click on these little eyeballs, and it'll get rid of the different ones. Alright? So when you've completed that and you like the basic look, you can right click on that, raster layer style, and now I could add a double up of if I wanted to. Like say I want to put another stroke on it, I can go ahead and add another stroke. Let's make that a little more red. That's too pink. Still looks bad. Anywho, pick a color that works. Let's go blue. Sometimes it just takes a little adjusting, a little bit of playing around. That'll work. You can also do bevel emboss, texture. You can do an outer glow. Outer glow is a pretty popular one. Just play around with these effects until you can find one that looks good. So you glow, just kind of put a little glow around yourself. You can cut all that out later, like down here, so it doesn't look so strange. Let's see, we've got the rectangle tool here. You want to get a rounded edge rectangle, and you can draw a rectangle in here. It's going to be gray because our foreground color is gray. If you want to change the color, you can come in here and just select whatever color you want by double clicking on the foreground or the background, and it'll change the color. You can also match colors within your designs. Remember, you guys picked out your colors earlier, so by just double clicking or single clicking and then clicking on the color that you would like. Now they are all gray for some reason. What's up with that? I guess because it's up here. Fair enough. Well, you can't change the foreground color anymore. That was CS5. So this is CS6. But it's easy enough to select it. Let's say I wanted to change rectangle 2, select it, go back to my rectangle, make sure you're on the rectangle tool, and then go to your fill and make your fill whatever color you want to select it in here. Okay. Now the importance of this will reveal itself later, because let's say I want to put in here something like, let's swap this to a black home. Sheesh, that's very small. Alright, so I do that, and then I take my rectangle. Let's see, which rectangle is this? It's good to name your layers so you don't wind up in the situation I'm in right here. Alright, double click on that. Bring up blending properties. Create a bevel and emboss. You've probably seen these. These are called buttons. Simple enough, right? Maybe a drop shadow or whatever you want, just to make it look good. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but play around photoshopping and come up with a general understanding of how the tools work and how to copy and paste different images in here. And we'll go into more detail specifically about web page design and how you can use the splice tool to cut up all of this stuff so that you can then incorporate it into Dreamweaver, which is your primary web design interface. Any questions? Let me know. Don't forget to save this as well in your web design green screen folder.